Hello, Mr. Randy Duck, and welcome back for another video. Today I've got two replays in the Tier 9 Soviet heavy tank, the Object 705. I basically had these replays saved up for quite a while. They're not the biggest of games, but I just needed to clear some space on my hard drive and get these replays out there. And I don't think I've got a replay in this tank on the channel as of yet. So here we are on Fearful Ridge. It is a Tier 10 lobby, but there isn't actually any fun police, any artillery in the game, which is going to be handy when we're in this heavy tank. The 705, I sort of quite enjoyed the grind, if I'm honest with you, with this tank. It's got a decent gun, 490 alpha. You've got 303 penetration on your premium APCR rounds and 250 on your standard rounds. You then got a decent turret. When you go hold down in this tank, you can bounce quite a lot of shots. It is rear mounted, so you do have to adjust your play style somewhat. And you only got 5 degrees gun depression, as to be expected with a Soviet heavy tank. But you are quite low profile, which does sort of give you a few more positions to use to be able to go hold down. So here we are on Fearful Ridge. Like I said, there's no fun police, so I can push up like this, because normally if there's artillery in the game, where I would be here, I could be getting constantly shot by the artillery, and it wouldn't be ideal. But I don't have that threat at the moment, so I've pushed quite aggressively, and I managed to spot this Valor and this medium. I'm trying to stay hold down to both of them while doing my best to try and focus the enemy Valor. You see he is struggling to penetrate us here, and we want to take out this tank as quickly as we can while he's caught in the open there. Enemy pattern decides to then just full send across. I'm not going to turn my turret, so I get penned to get a shot on that. I'm going to wait till I kill the Valor first, and now I can look to try and get a shot into this pattern. See if we can get rid of this tank, which is in behind our lines right now. We get one in, which puts him into one shot. He should get taken out by our team, and he does get taken out by our friendly E6 medium tank. And now we're going to push forward to try and extend our view range somewhat, because if you look on the mini map of this game, our friendly team have already pushed right up onto the hill on the other end, and the enemy team have kind of got very little map control right now. And what often happens in that sort of scenario is you get pincered and you start to lose the game very quickly because you have nowhere to run. So we are getting shot at. We're trying to sort of stay hold down on the expose our turret armour, spot an enemy iron rain when it fires, and yeah, unfortunately we don't get a shot in, but hopefully we might pick up some assistance off of that tank, which we do. And already we got put onto almost 3,000 assistance at the start of the game, which is nice. We then get a nice blind fire into the iron rain, pick up our first kill of the game, putting us onto about 2,000 damage. Our enemy tank destroyer gets spotted from the other side of the map, from the hill, because our friendly team are pushing across. And at this point, I'm thinking about just moving in here, because this game is going quickly. I need to try and get as much damage as we can. I get a nice shot into the 60 TP. At this point, I'm thinking, the enemy tank destroyers in the hill are probably too distracted to get shots from here. But it is enemy Avery, which I need to be careful of, because that tank is disgusting. And it could pen us side on and ruin our game. But he has bigger worries right now. And we are going to start to push forward, because this is kind of a bit of a landslide of a game right now. And we just want to try and go through. We get a nice, try and get a shot on the 60p on the move. It derps, but we are moving. We do run snapshot on this crew to increase our accuracy on the move, but we're in a Russian Soviet, so it's to be expected. Only 5 tanks remaining. There's only really one location they can be right now, and that is at their spawn. We're going to push forward and see if we can get any last damage out of this game. Maybe pick up a bit of assistance if we're lucky. We're on sort of 2,800 assistance here, but there might be a few tanks which are not spotted. Enemy chieftain gets spotted there, and there's a few tanks on the hill, but we're full health. We haven't even taken any damage at this point. We're just going to go straight in, to be honest with you. We get a shot into that ISU, picking up our second kill of the game. Hopefully we'll get a shot into this chieftain here. We actually are just firing on the move again, and unfortunately we do only track damage and don't get that damage and shot in there. We do pick up a little bit of assistance though, and there's 2 tanks remaining now. Like I say, this is one of those landslide games which does happen. It's a lot more enjoyable when they're a bit closer and you have to fight for it, but sometimes these are the games you get, and you have to try and make do with what you get and try and push as quickly and as aggressive as you can. You don't want to stay too passive in a game like this, or you're not going to get any damage out of it. There's only one enemy tank remaining, which is this Conway. We're hoping to get a shot. We probably could pen with the HE, but we didn't have it loaded. We do get our last shot in there, putting us on the 4,400 damage. Freddy Light Tank goes for the jump kill there. Unfortunately, gets taken out before he gets that opportunity. But that puts us an end to replay number 1 with 2 kills, 4,400 damage, 3,000 assistance. We do get the ace tanker, and yeah, that's it for replay number 1. But let's move on to the second and final replay of the video. Okay, so here we are for the second and final replay of the video. We are on Rasserine this time. It's a standard battle. It is a tier 9 lobby, so we are top tier this game. We are also platooned up with our good buddy Petty 360 here in the tier 9 British premium tank, the Chieftain P. There is only there is one fun police in the game, but only one enemy light tank. Now, initially on this map, in a heavy tank like this, we're going to go and try and play the town area, the castle, if you like, and try and get ourselves into a brawl, ideally, with the enemy heavy tanks, and see if we can rack up some damage, because we're not going to play the other side. It's too open for heavy, and I'm too slow, and we also don't really have much going that way. So I'm hoping the enemy tanks are going to come this way, and we can get into a fight. We do have quite a lot of numbers, so yeah, we're going to try and push forward. I'm not really too concerned about getting capped out on this map, because it doesn't take that long to get back from the castle anyway, and normally you do get a few tanks go this way to get into a little bit of a fight. So Petty is sort of flanked around the left hand side of the castle. I'm going to go around the right and see if we can try and collapse in on these tanks and try and get a couple of angles on them. So we spot some tanks here, just looking to see if this tank was going to back up and I could get a nice early shot in. But it doesn't look like it's going to happen, and I don't want to sit all day in that location. I want to keep progressing towards the enemy tanks. It looks like there's quite a few numbers actually down in this lower part of the ground. So we're going to try and go round. I'm actually going to go round to the right here if we can get behind the enemy tanks. So as we come around here, we're going to have a little cheeky poke to see if there's anything there. We're getting detected, so I suspect there is maybe a tank destroyer or something in the background. So we're going to angle round so we can try and, you know, with it being in a rear mounted tank, we can almost side scrape a little bit easier. Spot an enemy prototype there. Unfortunately, we don't penetrate that shot. Now that prototype is a bit of I wouldn't say a problem, but it's slowing us down, because where he is in that location, it means we can't easily sort of peek round and shoot these heavy tanks which Petty is fighting, which is what I really want to be doing here. But while that TD's there, that is kind of preventing us from doing that. He's taking shots and we're getting a little bit of assistance, and we do manage to get a penetration shot through the cupola there. And you know, like I say, whilst that tank is there, I can't go around this angle. If that TD, you know, is destroyed, I can then try and move around and, a little bit further, side scrape off that rock and get shots into the rear of those tanks, which is what I want to try to achieve. Looking to try and get another shot into the proto, but he's backed up. It doesn't really present us an opportunity, but we should have an opportunity here potentially to get a shot into this tank. The enemy Patriot actually eats a shot for his friend there. We're going to look to see if we can get another shot here into this enemy Patriot, which we do, picking up a bit of damage. You can see we are bouncing quite a lot of shots here. These tier 8 tanks are going to really struggle to penetrate us whilst we're hiding our lower plate here, and just only really exposing our whole armour. We do poke round, but then again we're conscious of this enemy tank destroyer. We get a shot there into that enemy heavy tank, pull around, the Patriot comes around, the prototype comes around and actually bounces. Enemy icebreaker comes around there. We're going to try and squeeze one in before he escapes. We do manage to do so before into the lower plate. And this enemy tank destroyer is now on a one shot for us. And these Patriots coming around, this is good because I want them to do this so I can get the shots in. They are in a sort of situation where they've got tanks to their left shooting down on them and me here, so they're in an awkward situation right now. And it is, at this point, it's a relatively close game, but you know we're starting to progressed now. Now that tank destroyer's got killed, we can actually go round. I'm pretty healthy, so I do go round. I eat a couple of shots there. Could have played a little bit safer, but I want to try and get the damage out of this game here. I think we've blocked about 3,000 damage in this game. Enemy heavy tank there. We're going to try and get a shot into that M103. Unfortunately, that did miss that shot. It can be a little bit derpy, this gun at times, but this time we try and get a shot through the tracking shot and track him in place, and now he's left. He gets taken out by our friendly team. We're going to try and poke around and get a shot into 703. We're going to go for the track wheel shot so we can try and pick up the assistance here, and we managed to do so, picking us up to around about 2,000 assistance there. So we're having a pretty decent game, but there's only 4 tanks remaining now, and it's just a race to see who can get that damage which is left in this game. We're hoping to get there, but at this probably more hopeful than anything at this point. I'm thinking of one of the slower tanks, I probably won't get there, but you never know. So we're just going to full send across and try and get there and see if we can get anything more out of this game. We already had like about 4,000 damage, 2,000 assistance and 3,000 blocked, but there is still 4 tanks in the game. Fun Police is still alive, and that obviously has quite a few hit points now. We do spot an enemy UDES. We got a nice penetration shot in there before he escapes, putting us just over the 4,000 damage. Pick up a bit more assistance by Petty there for finishing that tank off, and I'm going the most direct route possible to where the enemy tanks are. They were last spotted going towards our base, so I'm guessing they're that way at this point. It is only 2 tanks remaining. Enemy pattern, tier 9 pattern does get spotted, so I'm trying to push forward. Someone actually pings the right here, and he actually was correct. That was where the enemy tank destroyer was. He isn't auto load. He puts some shots in. He damages my ammo rack, but I'm not really scared of dying here. I'm just trying to get as much damage out as I can, so I've got a lot of the hit points here. Looking to try and get the finish. Unfortunately, I don't. It gets taken out by our friendly Italian premium tank instead, leaving us to this 1 enemy pattern, which all of our 9 tanks remaining want to try and get that last shots in, except for our guys going into the cap apparently. So we're going to try and get some damage out of this tank. Yeah, so it's one. He is crossing it. At this point, I think he's. I'm not going to get it unless he crosses here, and I'm thinking, oh well, maybe. But then he stops. So I'm not. I'm just going to wait and just hope he crosses. He does cross, and we do get that shot in, picking up the only kill of the game. But putting us on to 5,000 damage, and that brings us then to the video. So what do we get? We get 1 kill, 5,000 damage, 2,300 assistance. We get the ace tanker, the steel wall, and the high caliber. So that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Happy tanking.
Hadouken!